but live accordingly too. Okay. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Are we actually live or is YouTube pulling my finger again? All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another Sunday market outlook. Yes, I'm still recovering. Yes, my haircut is still fresh from last week, but I'm not going to mention it because obviously I'm sick and I'm going to focus on the topic at hand. Got a few things to give some reminders for. Obviously spending time with family was very helpful for me. Taking some time off the screens was very helpful. I got my personal Instagram hacked. All right. So now that I'm back in full health, whoever tried to hack my Instagram, pray for your life and for the life of your progeny, because that was a stupid move. And I don't appreciate that because that was rude. But also was probably the greatest thing that's happened to me in a while because I haven't spent time on screens, haven't had personal social media, and it's been incredible. If I could give you guys one piece of trading advice, it has nothing to do with trading. It would be to just get off social media and try to eliminate as much time off the phone as humanly possible. All right. How much can I be on my phone and operate in today's world and crush it in today's world without overdoing it? If you can play that game, I promise you, mental health will be a lot better. The clarity is a lot better. Castro, that's crazy. This man Castro's at the club watching the Outlook here on Zoom, and he said Outlook comes first. Fam, hats off to you. Like, just I wanted it. I wanted it enough to stay home, but Castro said he said we're not giving anything up. That's hilarious. So if this is your first Sunday market outlook, welcome. What we're going to do is I'm going to cover the fundamental outlook, kind of where the world is right now. We'll talk about Forex Factory and look at the data releases for this week to see if there's any red flags that we should watch out for. And then, of course, I'll go through my technical outlook. And because we have the NAS100 masterclass starting April 2nd, I'm going to go through one of the topics in the masterclass at the very end, see if we can turn this into a little bit of an educational session. Now, I might lose my voice, so that might go out the window, but hey, right? That's the beauty of life, right? We'll see where it goes. So let's talk about some quick reminders here. I was talking about removing social media. I genuinely mean it when I say that the distractions and stimulus that we're forced into today are some of the most like it's just standing in the way for no reason. It's making everything harder. And so the advice I want to give folks is don't swim upstream. Stop trying to fight everything. Stop trying to resist life. Stop trying to resist progress. Stop trying to resist your better future and just kind of go with it, right? It's laid out in front of you. It's all flowing towards success. All you gotta do is stop trying to swim the opposite direction. And that comes with trading as well. You see something very clear, you've studied it a million times, and then it presents itself in the wild, in the live environment, and your brain starts going, but what if, and that one time, and 3 days ago, Johnny lost the same trade, swimming upstream. You guys got me? Oh, but if I choose this broker versus that broker, and if it's this one, but what if it's not the right choice? Swimming upstream again. The platform does not matter as much as your skill set. Adapt your strategy to whatever platform you're using. If you don't know your strategy well enough to know how to adapt it, that's probably the first place that we should start. Cool. Put a one in the chat if you guys are with me. Actually, I also want to do a little test here. Put a one in the chat because I'm trying to figure out how long everyone has been keeping up with us, and I want to figure out where everyone's at. Put a one if you've been following us since what's a good mile marker? Since the No Face podcast. Since I was doing podcasts with like the Rajas and Teds and Q and Raul. I'm talking what year is that, people? Like 2019, 2020? Who was here when we were doing the No Face podcast? I was still working at the bank, couldn't let them know that I had a podcast. You know what I'm saying? But who's been around since then? Amanda, awesome. Bobby, we already know, man. 5 minutes into the call, I already have two inspiring quotes. Yeah, we're just getting started. I'm feeling good. I'm back. Right, I'm back to life. Cool. It's a great interview. What you did with Wall Street, very enlightening. Love to see it. We got some very special podcasts coming up that are more relevant to us as traders, Trading View, a bunch of others. So if you guys enjoyed those, we're only heating up for this year. We're about to go crazy this year. We're about to go crazy. The level of guests, it's like it's gonna go nuts. We had to step back out every once in a while, remind people what time it is. right? You can interview as many tomato cans as you want. Like when it comes time to really create a genuine conversation, hard-hitting questions, keep the flow of that thing going, bring things out of left field that actually push the ball forward, create a timeless classic. Time to step back out and show them what time it is. Okay, now put a 2 in the chat if you guys have followed us since what came after the No Face podcast. Um, what was 2021? What was the biggest thing? The charity stream. Put a 2 if you guys were around during the charity stream or around that time. That's when you found out about us. Put a 3 if you were around pre-Summit 22, leading up to Summit 22. And put a 4 in the chat if you guys were around either World Tour for Summit 23 or the Summit 23 itself. And then put a 5 if you came in after Summit 23 and you're actually that new. So 1, if you guys were here during the No Face podcast 2019, 2020. Put a 2 if you guys were here 2021 charity stream. We brought the whole industry together. Over 50 influencers on the same Zoom giving out free value from their courses, from their really from just from the heart, just spitting for 24 hours. We raised close to $20,000 for St. Jude's Hospital. That was one of the most fun experiences of my life. Took a few years off my life, probably. I'll do it again for the kids. Okay. 2022, obviously, we hosted the largest conference in the world at the time for retail traders, which was the FX Summit Miami. That was the first one. Then we did the world tour. You guys know we hit all the major cities in the States, at least. We went to Atlanta, DC, New York. We went to Dallas. We went to Scottsdale, Arizona, finished off here in Miami. Then we had the FX Summit 23. And now we're doing Summit 24 tour. We're about to be in the UK. We're going to be in Liverpool. We're going to be in London. We're going to be in Chelsea. We're going to be in Bispan, Portugal. We're going to be in Dublin, Ireland. We're going to be in, oh, don't quote me on Spain. I don't know the city exactly. We'll be in Spain. And then we have 2 more tour dates in April and June. So we'll see you guys out there live if you're in any of those cities. Love to see it. Let me check the YouTube comments real quick because this is going to be fun. All right, let me see who I'm talking to. We got a bunch of ones. He says, "LOL, back when you interviewed Ted." Look, if I'm gonna be honest, still great interviews. And look, when the bullshit happened, we thought about taking him down. I took down one of the interviews for his sake, not mine. But at the end of the day, that's old news, right? He said what he said. I said what I said. And I think that those should stay up. But yeah, definitely toeing the line there. Jason Stewart put me on. Awesome stuff. Shout out to QB Stu. We got a bunch of 2s in here. Awesome. Got a couple 3s. Summit 23. Hey, Cliffco's in the house. We got Reed in here. Great stuff. We have a few people from the 1 days. Yo, reach out to us. If you guys were here from the early days since the No Face podcast, reach out to our team, info@chartaddictsfx.com, and let us know who you are. We'll see if we can have something for you. Because look, some of the folks in here, when we didn't even have a website, when we were just a group on Telegram with it was like we were doing it for free, got everybody. It took up way too much time. I think we were doing like $20 a month. Just come in here, just copy our trades. It was a PayPal and no website. Folks trusted us. Those folks have my heart forever because we knew what we offered. But from the outside, you don't know what someone's offering. And for someone to see that in you and to have that faith and then have it pay off for them, to me, is just a beautiful story. I appreciate every single last one of you. You know who you are, and you got a place in my heart forever. That's really what helped build this thing. 2 big shout outs. The Chart Addicts team that actually puts all this together. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Golly. Shout out to T. Shout out to Jacob. Shout out to Bryce. Shout out to Diverso. Shout out to Omer. Shout out to, God, I'm forgetting somebody. Takala, right, for all the edits and the video. Shout out to Tyler Scott. Shout out to the entire team. If I missed your name, I love you. And then shout out to the core who's really been supporting us since day one, and all of you guys who have come along for this journey for a common mission. So a lot of people, like what people do in the Forex space is they're a successful trader and then they build this entire ecosystem around them, not realizing their strategy is not duplicatable. They don't know how to cooperate and work with a team, and their scalability just depends on marketing instead of value. So we're not really doing that. Our core offer, just our core community value, comes from a set of principles and a set of ideals as opposed to people. Because, like, bro, if I want to go on a beach for 2 years, Chart Addicts is not going down because I decide to step away. The core ideals are trading requires really it's three very important things. Number one, a clear structure. Number two is discipline. And then number three is accountability. Accountability is the one that people don't pay attention to. Oh, I'm by myself behind my screen and no one's watching. What if I just slipped in an extra position? What if I just went heavier than normal to cover and get back to break even? We don't do that. So have a trading plan, have people around you that are on the same page that will hold you accountable if you keep doing stupid things or saying stupid things. And then the discipline to be able to sustain that for the long term, which again, I think comes back to community. Because if everyone is on a 5-year path to see if they can become the best trader, and you're doing it day by day, talking about your daily results, you're going to look pretty stupid eventually. And this is where a lot of the growth happens. So the set of principles, do trading the right way, have a set edge, make sure that you have the discipline to apply that edge, the impulse control, the capital, and of course, the accountability. All right, let's get started. Drop a like on YouTube if you guys are watching this. Let's talk fundamentals, and let me give you guys an overview of what's been happening in the world because things have started to escalate. If we refer back to the article I wrote earlier this year called, so I'm waiting for the website to load because I forgot what it's called. Give me a second. Oh, look at me. I accidentally clicked on the live classes tab on the ChartAddicts FX website. I wonder where that leads. Don't go click that and find out. Okay. Right? Do not go to the ChartAddicts FX website and hit live classes. All right, it's called the official 2024 Market Outlook. Nice. I gave it one of those basic names like International Manufacturing Industries, right? Just shell company. Fucking just I'm gonna get myself in so much trouble. I should have just stayed sick. Okay. US landscape, rate hikes, that's all cool. Da, 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 da. Okay, we'll talk Ukraine, Russia. Two big things, the security landscape in Europe. I talked about escalation and uncertainty. So escalation to me was the big topic, which was containment, which is containing things within the borders, versus escalation, having to drag a bunch of other parties into the conflict. The reason that I keep saying that over and over again is because it is that big of a deal. If it stays between Ukraine and Russia, guess what? Ukraine is not technically a member of NATO. So NATO doesn't have to step in during this confrontation, which I think is working in everybody's favor to avoid World War III. Um, and the second piece is that if Ukraine was in NATO, then you'd have to drag in the US along with every European nation, and that would just get ugly. And is that severe of a situation? So right now, excuse me, right now right now they're in the middle of peace talks in Europe, and there was a bombing at a concert hall, which the US had seen from 2 weeks ago and warned the Russian government. So get this. US intelligence services sent a warning to the Russians saying avoid all mass gatherings for the next 2 weeks. And then the US embassy issued a proclamation to all US citizens residing in Russia to avoid large-scale gatherings, specifically concert halls. So they knew this was coming, warned the Russians from a mile away, and the Russians thought it was a fear-mongering tactic to try to subdue the Russian people or whatever. Didn't take the threat seriously. There was a massive attack that happened during a concert in Russia, in Moscow, if I'm not mistaken. The story just starts getting shadier from there. So the Ukrainians and the US both denied it instantly. Okay? Which if, maybe it's in their best interest because they don't want to escalate the war. ISIS comes out of nowhere and takes responsibility for the attack. Now, I don't know if you guys forgot about this, but didn't Trump get rid of ISIS? How's ISIS back and how are they powerful enough to go after Russia? And why Russia? I'm pretty sure Russia was out there supporting the Muslim world during all the last 6 to 8 months. So they couldn't have picked another country. Like, none of this makes sense. And then on the way out from the attacks, the militants who carried out the attack were headed towards the Ukrainian border, where apparently they had an envoy waiting for them to take them out. That is speculation. We still don't know. What I do know is that ISIS, this is what we do know, is ISIS went all the way to Russia to blow up a concert hall in a country that's been supporting the Muslim cause. Because again, ISIS stands for the Islamic State. And you're telling me Yeah, none of it adds up from start to finish. Okay, so I don't know. We're gonna let the chips fall where they may. I think it's very suspicious timing. And I also think that it's very coincidental this happens right after China and Russia decline a UN resolution, which was presented by the US for a ceasefire between Hamas and Israel. Okay, so Russia and China blocked the deal to get this ceasefire started. And then all of a sudden, massive attack happens between ISIS, an attack in Moscow, which the US had warned 2 weeks in advance. It just stops adding up. So that's one of the big things on the table, which is if this genuinely was a proxy attack, whether it was the Ukrainians that proxied the ISIS, this could lead to a real escalation and risk of World War III. I don't say World War III like end of the world, World War III. This is World War III is one of those like this is the last one that we're going to have sort of deal. And so everyone's going to do whatever it takes to de-escalate from that. When I tell you guys we have to do everything possible to stay away from the ledge, I mean it. And keep in mind that World War I was started off of the killing of who was it? Archduke Franz Ferdinand in some Eastern European country. The one guy killed an archduke, and the whole world went into a war. So if you don't think these small attacks played by the wrong sides and being taken blame from the wrong sides could not start World War III, I'd say brush up on history a bit, and you'll realize exactly how dangerous that could get. Okay, let's talk about fundamentals then. Talk about the news this week. It's that was pretty heavy stuff. So we talked about the Russia and Ukraine escalation. We also talked about Palestine, Israel, UN resolution got blocked. We'll see if the ceasefire holds or not. Okay. Let's get right into it. Oh, one more thing about US economy. This is completely non-geopolitical, but just for the US. Jerome Powell, FOMC, gave their rate decision last week. I think the markets were still optimistic, not the cyclicals and industrials. I'm talking US30 and S&P 500. Those shit the bed last week. But NASDAQ specifically saw impressive, like it held its support, it held its ground. And I think the market is more hanging on the dovish tone that Jerome Powell had as opposed to his whatever the words he said about not raising or not cutting rates immediately, and then we may not have rate cuts until maybe the last month of the year. I think the market saw right through it. I think that a lot of his dovish tone was like, yeah, something breaks, we're going to step in. And that's what all the market needs. That's an artificial support right there. If anything goes wrong, they're going to step in. Okay, keep buying. Because if something structurally goes wrong in the tech names or in the economy itself, which causes some of the largest tech names to go under, the government's going to bail everyone out, or they'll lower interest rates, or they'll start quantitative easing again, which will re-stimulate the economy and then bounce back the price of stocks. I think markets are very optimistic. They're going to keep buying. So I don't see a reason for sells as of right now. We got consumer confidence coming out on Tuesday. Don't really care. Richmond manufacturing, core durable goods. Okay. And then we have, Economic Club of New York. This is good. We have Federal Reserve Governor of New York, Christopher Waller, going to be speaking at the Economic Club of New York to deliver a speech about monetary policy. So that actually should be pretty interesting because we've seen how different Fed chairmen, or not chairman, but different Fed presidents are able to sway market opinion because it shows dissent inside of the FOMC. And so I think Waller is one of the bigger names on the ticket. His words have bigger pull. We got final GDP dropping on Thursday. So we talked about this a lot. GDP dropped in three components. There's the advanced preliminary, advanced, and final GDP. So I had to rack my brain for that one. They're typically released 60 to 90 days after the quarter ends. And so this is going to be for the previous quarter's numbers, the final result. 3.2%, we'll take it. 3.2% growth in this environment, not bad at all. Are they fudging the numbers like they do with CPI? What do you think? What do you think? I'm about to get myself in serious trouble, but this is a funny one. Someone told me that they couldn't believe that government regulators and central bankers would do something so heinous. List whatever heinous thing that you guys think I would have said. And this story came to mind. I forgot where I heard it, but it's like, have you ever had somebody cheat on something that does not fucking matter? Have you guys ever played a child's game with somebody, like a basketball game or some? You see somebody cheated in that game, right? And so that's when it starts to click. It's like if somebody will cheat in something that does not fucking matter, that has zero consequence, it's an absolute child's game, you don't think that they would cheat for trillions of dollars on the line and the future of humanity? Are people out of their fucking minds? So that's just a quick reminder and a wake-up call to everybody who still lives in a delusion. Good morning. It's 2024. Unemployment claims coming out on Thursday. That should be a nothing burger because that happens every week. We have pending home sales, revised consumer sentiment, and then Fed Powell hits the stage for what? A moderated discussion with Kai Rizdal at the Macroeconomics and Monetary Policy Conference in San Francisco. There's a conference for macro and monetary policy, and I wasn't invited? That's crazy. Are there tickets available for this? Imagine I travel to San Francisco. Imagine anybody travels to San Francisco. Let's see if you can buy tickets. I don't get paid to spell, people. Relax. March 31st, Bank of San Francisco, Portland conference room. This looks like a closed deal. How do I get in this room? Give me a second. Hold on. Labor markets. Damn. They have D'Amico. They got everybody speaking. Wow. Oh, this is a stacked lineup. Where's Jerome Powell? Okay, even Waller is speaking. What? Is it just me or I don't see Powell's name on here? Powell's name's not even on here. Bro, what is happening? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out later. If somebody knows how to get me in this room, hit me up. Info at chartaddictsfx.com. All right, let's jump into technicals. Any questions about fundamentals before we jump in? This is gonna be very quick. This is gonna be very quick. All right. 3 rules to becoming a successful day trader. Number one, head over to chartaddictsfx.com, click on the live classes link, and register for the NAS100 masterclass. Only a week left. Make sure to grab your seat before it's too late. This strategy will give you everything you need and more to kickstart your 2024. Yo, I've been rhyming like crazy today. Somebody please clip these. Okay. We'll go ahead and start at the top of the ticket. Big surprise, super secret indicator. Can't find it anywhere else other than this stream. Hit subscribe. The dollar is back on its bullish run. RIP to all the dollar bears. If only there was a live stream somewhere that tried to warn you for months. For months. If only there was a super secret magnet indicator, undefeated, undisputed, can't find it anywhere else, that tried to warn all of you to keep your life safe, gave you all the levels. If only that existed somewhere, but oh yeah, it does. Hit subscribe. 103.7 was the first target. 104.5 was the second target. And guess what? That's where we're at right now, right? There was a magnet here before. We already hit the zone. That's cute. But 105.7, when that hits, that I think is going to catch a lot of attention. 107.5 is the next target. Why is the dollar so bullish, Roy? Why is it so bullish? I would encourage all of you to go and watch my interview with Brent Johnson, Chart Addicts. Here we go. Brent Johnson, go ahead and check out this video. This was an incredible video that I did starting off in 2023 with the founder of the dollar milkshake theory, which is one of the most prominent economic theories today about the dollar demand and the dollar dominance. So if you guys are interested in why the dollar will keep climbing, even though we print, even though we don't print, bullish, not bullish, the dollar keeps going bullish. Why? Because the DXY and the dollar in general is a relative measure of strength versus other currencies. So it's not like the dollar is strong. No, the dollar is strong means the dollar is strong compared to this basket of all these other currencies. And so as long as the basket of other currencies keeps doing stuff that's worse than what the dollar is doing, the dollar stays king. I highly recommend checking that out. It'll inform a lot of your opinions or a lot of your, it'll give you guys insight on how I inform a lot of my own opinions about how to trade dollar pairs. UJ886, beautiful, almost tapped the extension, but not quite. Can't win them all. But if you're not paying attention, ChartAddicts members, we should have seen this coming from a mile away. If you guys took the masterclass and you're not a member, make sure that you guys reach out to us to see how that's possible. Phase 1, Phase 2, Phase 3. Let me give you guys a secret for UJ. I don't normally do this. You guys can take this one to the bank. Once the market crosses above that 38 fib level, if it comes back and creates that support here, solid continuation play, just like most other pairs. You might see a quick breakthrough to the 50, maybe even a bit lower, but the closure above the 38 confirms that trade. I want to give a shout out to QB Stu for that tip. Back in 2021, been serving me pretty good ever since. Okay. Let's take a look at NASDAQ. NASDAQ, this was a trade looked at last week, waiting for this retracement that showed up pretty late. Hit the first entry, beautiful rejection, came down, hit the second entry, beautiful rejection, double bottom, rejection again. Liquidity grab? Really? ChartAddicts members, touch, touch, go. Every time. Break above the previous highs, beautiful closure. So CA members, let me know in the Zoom. We've already had this phase right here. We've already had touch, touch, go. We've already had a break above the highs. What's the last piece I'm waiting for to get in? I know I've said a lot of words. I'm trying to get this done before the food I ate wears off because the sickness was kicking my ass, and I'm just trying to make it to the end of this call. But I trust and believe in all of you. Let me know what's the last piece of this puzzle. The last interview, a lot of sauce. You guys should check it out. Appreciate you, bro. I'm here to support the movement. I don't need a surprise. Thanks, Roy, for everything. Of course, man. I appreciate the support for real. It means a lot. So what's up with Tesla? With China? Man, ain't nothing up with Tesla. Actually, I don't really know. Let me not answer that. That was an ignorant response. Let me check. I'm sorry, bro. That was uh closes above the 8-8. Yes, Amanda, but I need one more. That doesn't just apply to this strategy, but applies to all strategies. This is how we can gauge if the market is turning around. Right? You guys let me know, or I'm gonna just have to give away the sauce for free. So if you paid for this and you ain't finna answer the question, I'm gonna give it away for free. And that's everybody's loss. Well, actually, everybody wins. So let's see. How do we tell when a trend is turning around? We had a lot of the different phases. We had the slowdown in momentum. We had the support get formed. We had the liquidity grab. We had the break above the previous structural high. What is the last piece I'm waiting on to get into a trade? And if no one can answer this, I'm ending this stream. On God. I don't even want to bring God into this. It's just shameful for everybody. So even I'm embarrassed. Let me keep God's name out of this. He did not cause this. I'm gonna give it 30 seconds in case I'm rushing folks and people are typing. I'm gonna give it 10. I don't know. Heavy. Government printing 1.2 trillion matching ETC total market cap. The fuck? The fuck are you people talking about, bro? Answer the fucking question. You know what? I'm gonna answer the fucking question. All right. This just pissed me off. I'm sorry, guys. It's a Sunday. Excuse my language. This is how you can. I'm just gonna give away the sauce for free now. Congratulations. You're all about to get a lot of sauce for free. This is how you tell if a trend is gonna turn around. There's 4 phases. First phase is that the market's very aggressively pushing in one direction. Let's say it's buying up, like it's doing right here. Then you start to have this aggressive selling pressure. Oh my God, it's a reversal. But no, it's not, because a reversal would just continue to reverse, but a retracement starts to slow down. Starts to slow down. So you have volume slowing down. Then you have price respecting support. You have a liquidity grab through the zone. You have, okay, so we have slowdown in momentum, support gets formed, liquidity grab through the zone, break above the structural highs. So these are the previous swing highs, broke through those and closed above. So we have a bullish closure. And the last step is the higher low. Because if the market's going down, creating lower lows, as soon as you create a new higher high, the next thing you're looking for is a higher low. God, people, there is no way on God's green earth I just had to do that. Holy. All right. We're gonna do a whole class on that. We're gonna do a whole class on that on Wednesday or Saturday, yo. That's a failure on my part. If we have one person, but not everybody else, okay. If nobody got it, that's 100% on me. I'll take full responsibility. We'll cover it on Wednesday or Saturday, okay? Do you ever trade live? Haven't seen any live trade, just trading view, red green drawings after the fact. Jess, I suggest looking through the channel, right? This is like when the teacher says, look at the book before you ask there's no such thing as a stupid question. I don't know. That one's in the running for sure. Okay, government printing 1.2 trillion matching Bitcoin's market cap. Well, Bitcoin's been an asset since 2012, I think. And the $1.2 trillion omnibus bill hasn't even passed. So I don't know. Maybe you should look up the definition of causation versus correlation. Okay, that's your homework. Flex like Marquez. Jess, your homework is to go through and literally take 3 seconds to look at the channel. And that's both of y'all's homework. Okay. Awesome stuff. Y'all got me out here heated, man. I'm fighting for my life. I'm on enough Tylenol to fucking kill a small horse. And I'm out here just, I got to go through the momentum shifts. Nutty. So what's going to happen with NASDAQ? Well, we get this higher low, meaning that during Australia session, we're most likely going to consolidate, fake into this zone and retest. If we hold this floor, which I'll probably be buying here tomorrow morning, unless it happens overnight, I'll be buying here at 18,315 and then taking it up to the top of the range. My target is very straightforward. It's 18,550. Okay, CA members, if I wake up late, you guys know the drill. Swing low, swing high. Don't be a goofy. Risk management is king. Got it? Well, crisis king, but risk management is close second. Close second. He said at just must be, yeah. It's okay. I mean, I love new people, but it's like the way that you ask questions got to have some level of respect to it. It's like, I don't know you. All goofy. Okay. Gold from last week. Big surprise. Hit that entry beautifully. 2158. Beautiful. If you get a double bottom there at 2158 tomorrow, that's solid. If not, then watch for the break and then retest of 2165. So you either get a retest of 2160 or 2165. Either way, both solid entries to keep going long. 2180 and then 2195 are the targets. Let me say that again. Some folks don't write stuff down until, oh shit, he's talking about gold. So I'm going to give you one more chance. All right, 2160 retest tomorrow or break and retest of 2165. Those are the entries. Those are not random numbers. Those are called entries. The targets, 2180, 2195. Final target, 2222, right? 2222. Cannot forget that one. If I have to say the word 22 again, this stream is just going to get worse and worse. I'll be sitting here like, what did I sign up for? Okay, we talked about UJ, retracement back down to the 38 fib. We'll leave that one. US30, I got way wrong. This was a trade idea I had last week. Kind of had a retest of these daily lows. Beautiful wick back inside. I thought this thing was sure to push back in. The industrial stocks had other ideas. Okay, so Let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can find. This is a tomorrow play, guys. This is gonna take me a little bit of, man, why am I gonna be lazy? No, no, let me show you guys how to do this. I got a big headache already, but I'm gonna still do this from scratch just to at least find some zones for tomorrow to make my life easier. You work hard today, so tomorrow's easier, right? I was like, well, I'm gonna take it easy today, so tomorrow's easier. No, that's not how fucking life. If you guys have been around for longer than a few years, you'll realize hard today makes for an easy tomorrow. Easy today makes for a hard tomorrow. So we're gonna do this right now to avoid having to do this work tomorrow. Find our levels, which shouldn't take more than a few seconds, anyways. Got my zones, and then probably just leave it here. I'm gonna add one more right there on the break. Smaller time frame zones get thin line. Higher time frame zones get the bigger lines. That's just how it works. And then of course, I'll do one more. Oh, we already marked off. Let us go. All right, no, I like this a lot now. Okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. That's how we doing it. Okay, I got two levels here for U30. If we break these levels, sit this one out until price finds a floor. But there's really two options, and I know I'm on the 1 hour, kind of looking at a higher time frame trade, but whatever. We either get a break and close back above. Let me get the camera out of here. 39,560. Let me put a number title right here. 39,590. We get a closure back above, and we also have to close back above support. But really, this is the main thing I'm looking for is a closure above 39,590. And then especially if we close above 39,650, that'll seal the deal. But that first zone is the one I'll be watching. And then if the market continues to drop, if we don't have a closure, if it comes up and taps, but then rejects, start to push down tomorrow, 39,194, too ugly of a number. Let's find a nice clean number to remember, guys. Like, Roy, shouldn't you try to be as accurate as possible? I don't know if you guys have noticed, you're never going to be perfect, and being perfect is not the goal. If you're over leveraged to the point where perfection is needed, refer back to the first part of that sentence. You're over leveraged. That's just the truth of the matter. Okay. So remembering the trade, being in the trade, remembering the entry and what you're looking for, that to me is a priority. 39,200, that should help a lot of you guys. Remember that trade. Chart Addicts members, you know how to get real surgical to find the 15th decimal place like some of you guys do. So that's what we're going to do this week. Wait for the retracements, buy it up. The stock market is strong. American economy, strong. Are there some structural problems? Of course. Are we on an unsustainable fiscal path and our fiscal debt is through the roof? Of course. Is the economy still in good health because everyone's got a job? You guys remember jobs, right? Everyone needs a job. Yeah. American economy is still popping off. I was just driving around Miami to my dismay to see all the spring breakers out. But the good news is people still got money come out here for spring break. It's busier than I've seen it in about a year and a half. So things are alive. Demand is alive. I'll tell you guys that much. I went to drop some loved ones off at the airport. I'll tell you guys right now, the demand is alive. That happened. What do I think about the Apple lawsuit problem? Do you think it might affect the markets and Apple's share price badly? So the thing is, Apple is losing a bunch of lawsuits. The one that they have specifically, look, what I think is going to happen with Apple is the combination of all the lawsuits are going to end up putting pressure on them because the whole premise of all the lawsuits is that Apple is engaging in anti-competitive monopolistic practices. And Apple's like, no, no. See, we split up these divisions across 15 different fucking countries, continents, and we're non-competitive across the state, across the countries. And so we're not a monopoly. And so their defense has been, we're not too big in any one sector because we're in so many different sectors. Like, look at how, so and so is beating us in AI. Dude, think about the fact that they're out here about to use Gemini for their AI model, and they don't have their own. But the whole company is just screaming with red flags. And I think the anti-competitive nature of Apple is eventually going to come back to bite them in the ass. Is this what's going to bring Apple down? No, not even close. Did I buy more Apple shares when it dipped off the news? Yes. Do I think Apple's going to be a runner for a long time? Yes. But do I think they made a very strategic mistake not launching their own AI model and relying on Gemini or somebody else's? I think that is going to hurt them in the next 10, 15 years above anything else. But happy to be wrong there. Full transparency, I do own Apple shares. Okay. So yeah, long story short, it's not going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back, but it's amongst a series of patterns of lawsuits coming out against Apple for monopolistic anti-competitive practices that may threaten the company's hegemony as a US superpower. Now, keep in mind, from a global perspective, I think compared to Android and other leading phones, they make up less than 30%. And I think when it comes to the App Store, it's even less. So the App Store monopoly is only a problem for the states, but it's a pain in my ass. So I can't, and probably every other person who's ever tried to launch an app. So everybody gets it. No one's a fan of Apple. Okay, and here I was thinking, this is, by the way, what I was expecting to happen on US30. Okay, so we had a retest of the lows and then a clear bounce up. That did not happen. Okay. We had the beautiful rejection here. We had everything we needed, just no follow through. And that one broke my heart. But when it comes to Bitcoin, oh, that's gold. When it comes to Bitcoin, the only thing I really care about is the Bitcoin halving on 420. Let me see if we can get an exact date again. 22 days and 12 hours. All right, it's on the 16th of April. Why do I have the 20th of April? Oh, that's Orthodox Easter. Oh, or wishful thinking. I don't know. You guys can figure that out. You guys can figure that out. Okay. Huh. That's interesting. Do I need to move this Wednesday the 17th, Tuesday the 16th? Okay. Wow. I'm glad I didn't miss that one. So we talk about Bitcoin halvings in the past, which I think that we did to start off the year. I've conveniently marked these off. Did a whole explanation on this. Long story short, Bitcoin halving happens, market goes dry AF. I'll use 2020 as a close example here. Market was on a beautiful bullish run the entire year, especially the few months leading up to the halving. And then we have a sideways market where price stayed at the same exact range, at the $10,000 range from May all the way to July. All right. After that, then we saw the first glimpse of a bull run, but we didn't really start the next bull run until 140 days after the halving. Same thing happened with the halving before. Price went sideways back in 2016, and same thing back in 2012, but I wasn't around in 2012. 2016 went, and then about 162 days after the halving, we started having the beginning of that bull run. 1 year after the halving, the market is always at all-time highs. All right, this is not financial advice. The data is there for everyone to read. So same thing I'm expecting here. I want to see some kind of sideways movement after the halving. And then I've conveniently placed my 144 bars line down here. What are we doing? Right here, which puts us around September. I was thinking it was going to be around November, which is also the month of, you guys guessed it, the FX Summit 2024 conference, the biggest and most anticipated conference in the world for traders, investors, and crypto enthusiasts. Give me a one in the chat if you at least appreciate. No one likes an ad read. You guys think I like doing these, but I got to remind you because even I forget. But God, give me a one if that was on the spot. That one I didn't even have coming. That was on the spot. That was rock solid. That happened. Put a one if at least that was appreciated for what it was. That was an attempt. All right. Imagine I sat up here and did well, there's the Manscaped and you can deodorant on your balls. Yeah. Imagine I was a sellout like that, right? At least I get to be funny. At least I get to show you how to make millions of dollars trading. At least I get to show you guys a strategy that works, right? Go to the Manscaped, bro. The Blue Chew. It's like, nah. All right, I'm done. Okay, everybody, happy and safe trading this week. Go crush it. It's a weekend. Enjoy time with your family. Life is short, but life is also long. Plan like you're going to live forever. Live like you're going to die tomorrow. Be deliberate because the clock does run quick, right? I was sick for 4 days. I felt like I missed out on a whole lifetime. I'm so grateful to have my health back. That's why I'm bringing this level of energy. You don't appreciate what you got until you don't have it, right? You literally can't move. When you literally can't do anything, you're like, wow, like all this running around and all this, you know? So I'm very appreciative of what I got. Grateful for my health, grateful to be back, grateful for all of you for the support. If you guys have not seen the video of us taking over Wall Street, stomping inside the New York Stock Exchange and laying it down with Big Peter. Peter was walking around letting them know who the new sheriff was. He said, move over. You grab these threw his phone to somebody. Grab this flick of us. Just me and Peter and the guys. We had Diverso and Betham out there. We're just flicking it up in the New York Stock Exchange. If you guys haven't seen that video, head over to the channel. Day Trading Secrets by a 40-year New York Stock Exchange veteran. Something like that is the title. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Happy and safe trading. Peace. Good stuff. Roy, you're still sick? How do you have all that? The Tylenol